This is All India Radio. In the program Surkhiyon Mein, now we bring you a discussion on Urban Infrastructure Project Amrut Yojana. The participants are Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Deepak Kumar Das, journalist.
Amrut scheme, which primarily aims at providing tap water supply to every urban household and also to improve the sewerage system. Mr. Tandon, this is a big thing when it comes to Bihar. We have seen how the state and all the big cities had suffered because of flooding and other issues. That could be because of the bad or maybe inadequate drainage system, and water supply is becoming also very important. Prime Minister has tried to send a message that development is the primary goal of the government. How do you look at it?
Certainly, development is the agenda of the Modi government, and it has been focusing on the rural and urban development both. And when it comes to urban infrastructure, obviously it relates to a huge urban population and in big cities as well as in the cities in middle towns. And this particular phrase of urban infrastructure, it includes road connectivity, highways, rail, air, and also housing, then communications, and as you very rightly said, sewage treatment, and also drinking water. So when the Prime Minister talks of urban infrastructure, it includes all these issues which we have been discussing right now. And when we talk of the Amrit, that is Atal Mission for Regeneration of Urban Transformation, a lot of projects were listed by the Prime Minister, and these include sewage treatment plant built under the Namami Gange mission at Beur, and a couple of other places under the Patna Municipal Corporation, and water supply projects again built under the Amrit Mission in Siwan, Sil, and Chapra Municipal Corporation. Both these projects will help the local residents to get pure drinking water around the clock. Now this is a huge achievement that in a state like Bihar, people will be getting drinking water facility around the clock. Similarly, the Prime Minister also laid the foundation stone of Munger water supply scheme, again under the Amrit mission, which also helped the residents of Munger Municipal Corporation to get pure drinking water. And I can list all the programs and the functions which the Prime Minister's foundation stone of Jamalpur water supply scheme, again under the Amrit mission, and foundation stone of Muzaffarpur riverfront development scheme built under Namami Gange program. So all these projects in one go, and the foundation stone or inauguration was done. Now this will provide 3 modern type ghats of Muzaffarpur: Purvi Akhada Ghat, Siddhi Ghat, Chandravara Ghat. All these riverfront development of Ganga in Bihar in itself is a real game changer as far as the people of Bihar are concerned.
Prime Minister also said that how 20 big important cities, the state, are very connected to Ganga. So when he talked about developing cities of Bihar related to Ganga, at the same time he also talked about developing villages on the bank of Ganga as Ganga villages. So I think he is trying to connect to people because Ganga has a huge influence on people's life in Bihar.
As you very rightly said, Ganga, particularly in the Hindi belt and that too in Bihar, means a lot. And Prime Minister said that the Namami Gange will also be very helpful for Project Dolphin and biodiversity in Ganga. These are the 2 things which Prime Minister recently announced from the ramparts of the Red Fort during his 15th August address. And he said it is all due to the joint efforts of the centre and the Bihar government. He never undermined and underestimated the contribution of the Bihar government. He said basic amenities like drinking water and sewer are constantly improving the cities across Bihar, especially in the last 4 to 5 years. Lakhs of people have been connected to water facilities in urban areas of Bihar under the scheme Mission Amrit, as well as the schemes being run by the state government. He said in the last 1 year, more than 2 crore water connections have been given all over the country under the Jal Jeevan mission. More than 1 lakh households in the country are being connected to piped water. Clean water not only makes life better, but it also prevents many diseases. And in that context, we can also see that how the Government of India and the state governments are coping with the COVID-19 pandemic.
out of the 12 lakh people who are supposed to be targeted in the urban areas to get pipe water connection, in Bihar already 6 lakh households have already got it. So that's a remarkable achievement. But one thing also Prime Minister said, I would like to seek your opinion about that. He said this government believes not just starting projects but also completing them, which something he has been saying for a long time, that clearly saying that this government means business, not just laying a foundation stone then forgetting about it. How do you look at the messaging of Prime Minister to the people through this particular stand that he is taking?
The Atal Mission for Regeneration and Urban Transformation, that is what the Amrit Mission is. It was launched by the Prime Minister in June 2015, and the idea and the focus was to be on establishing infrastructure in the urban areas and the rural areas that could ensure adequate, robust sewage network and water supply for urban transformation by implementing urban revival projects. So the very mission, the Namami Gange as well as Amrit Mission, the idea is to provide basic civic amenities. And these are very essential, including urban transport, parks. All these things are actually required to improve the quality of life, particularly the poor and the disadvantaged people who are huge in number in states like Bihar.
One thing also Prime Minister said that cities should be inclusive, poor, rich, everyone should live together. Also at the same time he talked about how urban transformation or the way urban development is happening across the countries, it's phenomenal. If you don't do it now, then it will be actually too late.
Certainly, PM had also inaugurated 3 petroleum projects in Bihar, and the Communication Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said that the digital infrastructure has been strengthened in Bihar, and 8,743 panchayats have now been connected through the BharatNet in Bihar itself. And he said 3.93 crore people are now using internet in Bihar against 80 lakh people only in 2014 and 15. So 35,000 common service centers played a vital role for people during lockdown period in Bihar itself. So I think, and I must here do mention that Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar, he expressed gratitude for the Prime Minister for extending such a big support to Bihar, and he promised that state will make best effort to complete all the central projects within the stipulated time frame.
One thing is also very clear that when Prime Minister is laying any foundation stone, he doesn't make it just a standalone project. He actually connects it to everything else to make it a comprehensive thing. What you exactly said that he talked about when water project he is inaugurating or laying a foundation stone, he talks about how it will make people's life healthier. In the case of Bihar, he also applauded the role of migrant workers, the way they have done their service to the entire nation.
Certainly, in fact, that has been very close to his heart. And we all know how the migrant labor from Bihar first went back because of the coronavirus, but now they are returning back to the cities. So therefore, even in cities of Bihar like Patna and others, you do need the urban infrastructure. And that will not only help the urban population, but also the migrant labor which moves to states for employment. So it's not just that it is only urban infrastructure, it is infrastructure for the benefit of all sections of the society, including the migrant labor.
Another thing that Prime Minister is trying to send a message to make people aspirational societies or aspiring people. He today said that maybe in next few years we'll see Bihar as a coming out of this underdeveloped state or a poor state to a fairly better doing state. How do you look at Prime Minister telling people, thereby encouraging people, having more faith in the system?
Yes, because as we all know that a large number of aspirational districts have been identified, and many of those districts in Bihar are a part of that scheme. But I think the underlying message was that a state like Bihar requires some special effort to put Bihar at par with the other states, as he has been saying over the last 4 or 5 years, that eastern India needs to be helped to come at par with the western states of India.
Urban Development Ministry, under which this particular scheme has been started. How do you look at Amrit becoming a major way of rejuvenating urban areas?
The Atal Mission for Regeneration of Urban Transformation is a flagship project, a program of the Prime Minister, and it covers so many things. It is not only cleanliness, or not only drinking water supply, not only sewage, but also providing rail connectivity, road connectivity, infrastructure like communications, housing. All these would come under this very ambitious mission of the Prime Minister of India.
Thanks, Mr. Tandon.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to a discussion on Urban Infrastructure Projects Amrit Yojana. The participants were Ashok Tandon, political analyst, and Deepak Kumar Das, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our website, newsonair.com. You may email your opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.